Hello and welcome back to the series where I try to conquer Pendor in 250 days. It is now day 65 and I'm a little bit worried. However, there's actually a really good thing that is currently going on right now. Basically, I have noticed that a lot of the Dashar vassals, with the exception of the Bay clan, they are the most powerful from what I've seen, but a lot of the other ones are not looking particularly good right now. They are looking pretty bad, as in they are all very weak, and as a result, we may have the opportunity to do something about them. Oh yes, as in we may in fact want to become a vassal at some point in the near future. Obviously, we can become a vassal at pretty much any time. And, you know, the main reason why I became a mercenary once again in the previous episode, pretty obvious, you know, just because I want to make sure that we have a decent amount of cash. Not sure if the cash from a fief would be enough, you know what I mean? Because it may very well be that we don't get a decent enough fief, and it might be pretty low prosperity or something like that. I don't know. It very much depends. All right, very much depends. I obviously don't know what is going to happen because it's all very opportunistic. You know, we need to be very careful and just kind of pounce upon opportunities when they present themselves. So in that situation, we just need to be very careful. Just kind of need to make sure that we know what we're doing. I'm actually going to tell everyone to charge here. I'm going to tell everyone to charge. This is not something that I usually do, but I am going to tell them to charge now, just purely because I feel like we have a pretty massive advantage for some reason. I actually don't know why that is, but yeah, these enemies are not really knowing what to do. Surprisingly enough, I actually am kind of a bit weirded out by that. Funnily enough, though, Iceni doesn't have a significant amount of HP, so she is going to die very quickly if targeted. As you've seen, I just took 20 damage, and already almost half of her HP just disappeared. Because she only has 51 HP or something like that, which is really not very good at this point in the game, but that is indeed Pendor, you know. Pendor is one of those mods where you generally are going to be fighting a lot of enemies that can do massive damage. They have very high stats, they have good damage output, their gear is great, basically every single thing about them. You're going to have to be worried, you know, you have to be worried whenever you go into a battle if you have significantly lower HP than what could be considered the average at that time. And well, I mean, technically, okay, look, technically you could play it a little bit differently, where if you wanted to play, you know, surgeon or leadership based characters, you would have to be more careful than I am, you know, because generally I do tend to run in because I like to fight, you know, I like to get in there, like to do some damage because I find that amusing. I find it, you know, entertaining, funny, you know, whatever. I find it fun to do that. So generally, I am going to get killed more often because of that. But if I was playing, you know, by myself, I probably wouldn't do that much, you know, just because generally then I would be just thinking, oh, you know what, I'm just going to stay back and I'm gonna just try to get a couple of kills maybe with my bow or something like that. I mean, to be fair, my bow actually does basically no damage because of course it's going to do no damage. I have 3 in power draw or something like that, which is again absolutely terrible for this point in the game. You know, you're most likely going to want at least 6 or 7 power draw at this point, maybe even more than that if you can. And yeah, it is very unlikely, yeah, very unlikely that we would be able to have that unless, and this is another one of those things, unless you actually have the opportunity to get more Qualis gems. So there's a fine art. There is a fine art to finding unique spawns and baiting them into vassal campaigns or generally just trying to get them to attack in certain situations where you can take advantage of it. And it's a bit of a difficult thing to do, and especially considering, just think about the fact that it could very well just escape randomly. It could just escape, and when it escapes, you don't have the ability to even try to get the Qualis gem to begin with. So there's also that difficulty to deal with too. Anyway, this guy, unfortunately, did manage to escape. I was kind of hoping that we'd be able to take him prisoner, but no such luck here. I haven't... oh, yeah, I needed to actually sell. Oh, that's a mistake on my part. Oh, well, it doesn't really matter. Most of this stuff is not going to sell for that much anyway. And we just got 2 maiden adventurers, if you can believe that. Look at this. 2 maiden adventurers from the ransom broker here. And it only cost me 1,000 dinars total. That is a bargain, if ever I saw one. Alright, so we're going to fight a Kingdom of Sarlian vassal now, because this is the funny thing. The Empire has now made peace with the Dashar. So that means that we no longer have any of our desert friends to attack. And it's a little bit unfortunate, to be honest, because we were actually doing really, really well against them. And it would have been fantastic to maintain that advantage. But obviously, as you expect, the AI is, of course, going to make peace when and where they see fit, which is exactly the reason why making our own faction would be exceptionally good for us, because we're going to be able to make those decisions ourselves, and we're going to probably make really, really bad ones. Haha, no, I'm just kidding. We're obviously going to try to make the best decision we can, but sometimes, well, sometimes you do have to make a couple of sacrifices here and there. Anyway, that was a nice hit. Very good. I'm actually very surprised that we got a decent amount of damage against a Sarlian Knight, no less. But funnily enough about that, Sarlian Knights, they're one of those... they're kind of a little bit like Empire Knights. Empire Knights and Sarlian Knights, not actually super amazing or anything like that. They're kind of just like, standard-ish kind of cavalry. Nothing too special about them. I think generally if you're wanting to use cavalry, you're gonna have to join a knighthood order and use one of them, because the basic cavalry, not so good. However, I do remember that Empire Knights do advance into is it Shadow Legion Centurions, or what am I remembering right now? I don't know. But Empire Knights do advance into something, one of the knighthood orders, and they are very strong. So if you can stockpile Empire Knights, well, you might have a pretty good time. You're probably going to have a pretty good time from that. Anyway, we're going to charge once again here. And this is the funny thing. Obviously, the Fierds Vein, now this is quite a funny deal here, because the Fierds Vein, obviously, they haven't really been doing that much in the greater, well, shall we say, grander scheme of things here. The greater world hasn't really felt the presence of the Fierds Vein at all. They've basically been a bit floppy. And indeed, they have now decided to declare war against the Dashar. And that obviously is very much because they're being opportunistic about it, and they are deciding, oh yes, look at that faction over there. They're very weakened thanks to their war against the Empire, and, they're trying to take advantage of that, which is, of course, to be expected. But I found that quite amusing, because the Fierds Vein have not really been doing much at all, apart from that, as far as I could tell, at least. I mean, maybe they have been, I don't know. I mean, from what I can see, they've been very, very passive. Maybe they've attacked the Ravenstern a little bit, and I just haven't noticed. I wouldn't know, obviously, because I've very, very rarely been up there so far. And yeah, I guess it just goes to show that we're not going to have too many issues with this either. I mean, this is the reason why I wanted to go for Empire Armored Crossbowmen, by the way, because it is just a case of getting a critical mass. If you can get a critical mass of these troops, you might actually have very few problems, because I obviously am interspersing them with a bunch of Noldor as well as obviously the Omen Seekers and various other troops that we have been lucky enough to get. But yeah, they're doing really nicely. And there it is, another 25 renown for us. He did manage to escape, which is kind of unfortunate. We did get a golden bar, though, which is quite nice. And also some old polished plate armor. I actually will take this instead of this one. There we go. And then we'll just let other people take that, because they actually have more strength than I do, which is quite funny. And there is a crossbow here. I'm actually wondering, doesn't someone use a crossbow in our party? Who uses a crossbow in our party? It's not Julia. Anson is the one that uses a crossbow. Yeah, that's not really going to help. Unfortunately. No, that is not going to help at all. I am actually wondering whether I should... Yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to give Adonia... She's using these stones. Absolutely pointless. I'm sorry. That is absolutely pointless. Let's talk about how you upgrade your weapons. Okay. Yeah, keep current, and then we're going to be going for shield. Oh yeah. I just did the wrong thing. Isn't that great? That's wonderful. Okay, throwing weapons, throwing weapons, throwing weapons. Okay, let's just do this properly now. Let's do keep current, and there we have it. Okay, yeah, that's absolutely fine. So we'll just do shield, throwing weapon, and there we go. All right. That is perfect. Now, because obviously we've made peace with the Dashar, we have the ability to join their tournament. Yes, and that's exactly what we're going to do. 2 teams with 2 fighters each. This is the first time I actually have had the ability to join a tournament from anyone. So this is going to be very interesting, because on the one hand, I actually feel pretty confident about this, but on the other hand, I'm feeling like maybe we're going to immediately die. That could be... Oh, no, never mind. Oh, wow. Okay. Very surprising. I bet they're going to give me a thrown weapon now. What do you bet? Oh, they did. Yes. That is so funny. That is hilarious. Thank you so much. That is wonderful. Okay, here we go. Now, let's just try to do a little bit of damage here. I don't know who this guy is, so I don't know how much HP he has, but all I'm going to do is just pepper him with 10 damage here and there. And if I can hit him 10 times, he's going to die. You know, that's basically how it goes. Oh, actually managed to hit her randomly and steal the kill. All right, well, okay. 2 teams with 5 fighters. This is bad. Yeah, I need to very quickly kill things. There we go. Okay, good damage. Not a kill, but good enough. Nice. Scorpion Assassin is now dead. That's wonderful. Now we can maybe do some damage to this one as well. Yes, that was Vesmora. Okay, yeah, she was gonna absolutely murder us. We've got a bunch of Scorpion Assassins in here as well. Not very good. Nice 44 damage hit on this guy. Maybe we could do some more. Yes, there we go. Okay, okay, that was a little bit worrying. Okay, 4 teams with 2 fighters. They've given me a bow, which is absolutely pointless. So I am gonna switch to the club. Nice. Okay, 26 damage. Don't get shot. Nice. Okay, she's almost dead. I don't have a shield. Why am I blocking? I thought I had a shield. Okay, never mind. Okay, that's going to be quite funny. Hopefully my gold team member is going to live for the foreseeable future. This guy has literally just a javelin, and he's trying to stab me with it. It is not going to work, sir. Well, actually, maybe it is. Ah, there we go. He's dead now. Okay. Oh, he's right in front of me. I didn't even see him. Ah, how dare you. Okay, yeah, this is going to be... Yeah, this is going to be a bit problematic, because this club is not very good with range. I need to daze him with the mount. So I need very precise... very precise positioning. There we go. We got him. Okay, not too bad, actually. Not too bad. I thought to myself we were going to have some big problems there. Okay, once again, same loadout. Oh, thank you. Very nice. The mercenary cavalryman has actually done a good job for once. That's very interesting. Usually they're not very good in these. But I am very, very pleased about his performance so far. Don't get killed, don't get killed. And the final round is upon us. This guy has a lance. Okay. Well, I think I know what I'm going to do. Usually I would not be doing this because there's, you know, very little point in doing that. But I am actually just going to eliminate his horse. There we go. And then I can hopefully eliminate him. He's going to use his shield primarily. But that's okay. Tournament shields. No, no. No, 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 no. Tournament shields don't have a lot of HP, so we should be able to destroy it with 65 arrows. Should easily be able to do that. And there goes his shield. Alright, and there's the headshot, and that's him dead. Yeah. So it does take a little bit of time to actually do that kind of strategy, but as you can see, this was very nicely done. We got 20 renown. We increased our relation with the town, which I don't really care about that much, but we did also get over 20,000 dinars, which is obviously perfect. And now we also gained this, which is not very good. Yeah, not very good. I mean, it's okay. Don't get me wrong. It's okay. It's probably good for Anson, actually. Oh no, okay, I'm being attacked by bandits. I was going to Torba because I thought there was a tournament going on here, and I thought, hey, you know what? What's a good way of getting some cash? And I thought, yes, that seems like a pretty decent one, doesn't it? Because, well, it doesn't have the timer running, you know, the timer of the of duration, you know, is not running, days are not passing, and we are potentially then going to get a wonderful payday of 20,000, which would be extremely useful. But then, yeah, we got attacked. Yeah, we got attacked by these guys. I'm actually kind of hoping, because these guys were Red Brotherhood, that we might actually have the opportunity to find some information in here about the hideout now. But no. No, doesn't seem like it. Ah, unfortunate, unfortunate. Oh well, never mind. Oh yeah, by the way, that armor that I got from the tournament just now, I literally just sold that because there is no point. There is no point in using that because Anson doesn't have the strength required for it. And I kind of just thought, yeah, you know what, just forget it. There's no point because he's already using actually some armor that's actually really, really good. So perfectly happy with that. Otherwise, Lethal Duran has leveled up, and what are we going to spec him into? I'm thinking trainer skill, actually. But then we also kind of have to think about the fact that maybe we should level up his power drawer, because I could technically do that. But his trainer skill is looking... I mean, it would be pretty fantastic, actually. You know what? Let's just do trainer skill. He's too high level for us to say no to leveling up his trainer skill. I mean, really, he's going to be so good. Unfortunately, we can't look at his equipment. As you can see, it unlocks at level 30, so we can't do that just yet. Even though I'm probably not going to be doing anything with his equipment anyway. There doesn't seem to be much point in that. And, oh, there we go. We finally got to 21 charisma, if you can believe it. Okay, so we're going to get our 7th point in leadership. And that means I now have 150. Oh yeah, 150 in our maximum company size. So that is actually really, really good. You know what? Let's go over to Salian territory once again and see if we can find even more vassals. I'm going to recruit some Empire people along the way as well. Alright, so I've set up on a really, really nice hill here, and it's okay. You know, it's not amazing. This is not my favorite strategy generally, because this is the reason why. Look at what is happening right now. We are basically wasting ammunition. technically I could have told them to hold fire, but I thought to myself, oh, we're surely in range, right? We're surely in range, but no, it doesn't feel as though that's the case. So this is a bit weird. And as you can see, that's our first kill. Very strange. Very, very strange. They're now deciding to charge in. That's absolutely fine. Let's tell our infantry and our cavalry to charge. And then we will just stick around here with my archers and we'll try to do something to them. This guy has a slight numbers advantage on us, by the way. And also, I did recruit some new people as well. So we're running around with some, you know, handful of very, very low tier troops. Hopefully they're not going to die or anything like that. Oh, nice hit. Oh, that was surprising. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay, we actually got a kill on that one, even though we only hit him for 6 damage. That was amazing. Yes, 6 damage. Wow, look at that. I can't believe we're breaking the bank right now in terms of damage output. Could we do a little bit more than that, Iceni? I wouldn't mind. That would be pretty nice, but yeah, and it seems like that's not going to happen anyway. Well, let's just tell everyone to charge, I suppose. I think after that first initial charge, most enemies, they're probably not going to be able to win. At least I think so. If they've got a bunch of Salian Rogue Knights and Salian Regular Knights and so on and so forth, and they are unable to, you know, clutch out a victory here, nah. It's not going to happen, I don't think. And there is the victory for us. 24 renown. And I did actually end up getting killed because I ran in when, you know, I had basically no HP and I got shot in the face. But Lethal Durin got 15 kills, if you could believe that. I mean, yeah, you could probably believe that. Well, what is more outrageous is that Kavera got 12 kills and Adonia got 8. Our companions are actually doing exceptionally well. Very, very surprising. Loads of upgrades for our companions here as well, and I am just going to take the rest for selling, and there we have it. Alright, so this is where we currently are, as you can see. Basically just came up from Ethos and was just running around here and found this vassal just next to Seven Cross Keep. Obviously, Seven Cross Keep, as you can see, only has 55. Yes. Only has 55 people. So I am thinking to myself right now that this is a pretty decent location for an attack by us. However, speaking of that, I don't really want to fight against the Empire if I can help it. But it is probably going to have to be done, isn't it? It's going to have to be done. Otherwise, we're going to be fighting against 2 factions at once. And that might be a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe. Alright, so this is where we are actually going to be using a wonderful hold fire strategy. Basically just waiting until the opponent gets a little bit closer. And then we're going to be unleashing upon them. And, I mean, you can see here that we are indeed having Baron Hereward come closer to us. Kind of a bit weird decision on his part, but, you know, if he wants to do that, then that's what he's going to do. Anyway, we are now going to get prepared. And we are now going to fire at will. Let's do it. Oh, yeah. The kills. Oh, the kills. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, yeah. I just wanted to wait a little bit longer for the opponent to get closer to us, just so that we could actually, you know, do something a bit more effective than we did in the previous battle. I noticed that we were, I mean, you saw that too, basically, right? You know, we were basically just kind of shooting into nothingness, and it really wasn't doing that much. Now, I have gotten some new armor, as you could see. This armor gives me about 4 extra protection, which is really not very much and doesn't really do anything. It's really not going to help me to survive in the grand scheme of things. However, an upgrade is an upgrade, right? And it's pretty rare for me to find something that I can actually wear with my, you know, with my current strength. But I did actually get a new weapon. Yes, I got a new weapon, and this weapon is an Empire Sword, which is hilarious. Not entirely sure why this particular enemy had an Empire Sword, but he did. He was a Sarlian vassal, after all, so kind of a bit weird. Strange situation to be in, but alright. And as you can see, we've already eliminated 66 of the enemy's units, and there's not much they can do. They really cannot do much. Look at that, 31 damage. I just think about it. I only have 3 power strike. And yet I'm still able to do 31 damage with a minimal speed bonus as well. And I have to say, I am actually really, really impressed by... Oh, well, I kind of knew that was going to happen. Larian Sentinels and all that. But yeah, I am really impressed by Kavera. I think Kavera has been the most surprising companion for me in this series so far. Because I've never really recruited her in the past, I don't think. I think I've had her maybe like one time before, but usually I don't recruit her or Adonia or these sort of like tribal bandit kind of companions. I'm not sure why. I don't know. I don't know. Usually I just go for people like Anson, I go for Leslie, I go for... you know, all of the Sir people, because they're all very strong. I go for Lethal Durin, of course. And then we sometimes have Diev, and we also have Donovan sometimes as well, because he's obviously a very good trainer. And yeah, it's very surprising, because Kavera is doing so much damage, right? She's doing so much damage. She's getting kills almost all the time. And that says to me that I still have to reevaluate, you know, I have to reevaluate how useful certain companions are actually, you know, and what their value is, because there's many cases where that has happened in the past as well, where I've actually said to myself, hey, you know what, maybe I should have actually thought of this guy before, because clearly he's much better than I gave him credit for, you know what I mean? So it's really quite fantastical. Anyway, there we go. We can actually just do that. Do a little bit of an upgrade. Thank you very much. And then we will move on. I haven't had the opportunity to move back over to Ethos just yet, so we will do that now. Let's be a little bit careful, because Igrim is around here as well, by the way. I think he is around here. I could be wrong, but yeah, as you can see, some say Knights of the Eventide are avoiding Igrim at all costs. Reasons unknown. I think we kind of know why that is. I mean, let's face it, I don't think anyone really wants to fight Igrim. He is extremely strong, after all. And yeah, we are basically just going to get rid of all this stuff. Yeah, I'm going to keep this just because I think if I do get a Qualis Gem at some point, you know, cross fingers, then I'm going to have 12 strength, and then I'll be able to put this on almost immediately, and it's probably going to be extremely useful for us. I could also put on this helmet, which is a slight upgrade for us. This helmet can be sold. We could sell this. There we go. My Singalian Saber. Don't need that anymore. I can sell all of this as well, and there we have it. Okay, we're getting 5,000. Okay, no, that's a bit too much. Let's just do that. And then we can get rid of this one here. And the Heavy Hunter Horse is actually really good, so I'm going to get rid of the Sumter Horse instead. There we go. And then we can go into the tavern, take a look, see if there are any... I think I've already spoken to Sift. Oh no, I didn't. Wow, okay, apparently not. Let's speak to Eric's. Let's see. Nope. Nope. I am getting really unlucky with these rumors, I gotta say. Really unlucky. Anyway, it is now June 1st, and I think that's probably going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.